Too Close by Natalie Daniels. Read by Clara Salaman and Sara Stewart. Who can stop grief's avalanche once it starts to roll? Euripides, Medea. It's odd, because everyone always calls her beautiful. Her beauty has become a fact. It's been said enough times for any doubt to have been forgotten. But the first time I saw her in the park, all those years ago, I have to say she didn't strike me that way. No, her beauty took a while to floor me. She was small, with wispy blonde hair and pale blue veins that ran down her temples. She had dark bags under her dark eyes, which I know is just called parenting, and from a certain angle, her freckled nose looked like someone had given her a good punch. She had a peculiar way of looking at you from the corners of those big, dark brown eyes. And she blinked too much. All in all, she struck me as an anxious sort of person. No, I wouldn't have called her beautiful at all. Not then. I'd been late picking Annie up from nursery and had found my daughter sitting alone on the bench underneath the empty coat hooks, holding a wooden lollipop stick with a scrunched-up piece of red tissue bodged onto the end. "Darling, sorry I'm late," I said, sitting down next to her, glad to get my breath back. "What have you made?" I asked, looking at the lolly stick in her hand. Carl was better at this sort of thing than me. Every shite offering they brought home from school he marvelled at as if the kids were little Leonardos. Left to his own devices, the house would look like one of those hoarders' places you see on TV, full of clay rubbish and splodges of paint on crinkled paper. "It's a poppy." Oh, of course it was. Remembrance Day was coming up, and Annie's nursery never missed a chance to get creative. "Oh, that's lovely. Do you know why you've made it, who it's for?" I might be late, forget carol concerts and barbecue days, but my God, I do a bit of educating when I can. She looked up at me and passed me the lolly stick. "For you." "No," I said, "I mean, why you've made it. Who is it for?" "It's for remembering," she said. "That's right." She was a genius, my child. "Remembering who?" She had no idea. She shook her head, her cherubic curls bouncing this way and that, and not for the first time I marvelled that such a sweet being came from me. "It's for all the soldiers who died in the war," I said, sounding incongruously cheerful about it. She looked up at me, eyes wide with wonder, lips opening in surprise as the many cogs in her brain whirred. She frowned and turned slowly to examine the wall behind her, reaching out her little fingers to gingerly touch the bumps of roughly applied plaster beneath the clothes pegs. "In this wall?" she asked. Oh, sometimes she was so adorable I could eat her. "Let's get some sweeties and go to the park," I said. So Annie had scooted ahead, cheeks full of Smarties. She was a kamikaze kind of child. By the time I caught up, she was at the top of the slide, bottom lip out, face brimming with misery, staring down at the brightly coloured trail of Smarties bouncing off the ladder and onto the spongy tarmac. Another little girl was standing at the bottom of the ladder, picking up the Smarties and popping them into her mouth as fast as she could. "No, no, no!" cried Annie, furious at the nasty little opportunist below her. The mother was oblivious to the scene. She was busy making something on the bench with an older girl. I started picking up the Smarties and was shortly joined by the mother, who was looking down at her fat-cheeked child and making the right remonstrating noises. "Naughty, Polly, they are not yours." I'll tell you something peculiar. I remember there was something about her voice that put me on alert. It wasn't her tone, which was low and calm, or what she said, which was nothing unusual. It was a more intangible feeling. There was something about it that I found deeply comforting, yet deeply disturbing at the same time. Church bells do that for me, too. I'm not making any sense, am I? For many years I would remember that day as a fine example of how we must not trust our first impressions, how foxing they are. Because the truth was, just at the very beginning of it all, I felt an inexplicable and powerful aversion to her, like a tug from the wings, as if I were receiving
Sample complete. Ready to continue?